Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my April 2020 TBR. So, caveat, I don't know if this is actually going to happen. So we are at near the end of March, and I am in a big rereading mood. Just that's the way. With all the things going on in the world, that is where my mind is. I'm going to reread for comfort and not to stress out. Not that new books would stress me out, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't seem to be picking up books that I've never read before and actually completing them. So I've gone to rereading, so I'm hoping I'll come out of it at some point in April, and these are the books I'm going to pick up. So I'm doing one project that's with one readathon, and then there's two other readathons that I hopefully will dip into near the end of the month, at least read one book for, so we'll see. So I'm going to show you all those because there's a lot of things going on in April. I hope that everybody can take part in them. As I said, right now I'm just hoping I can do at least a little bit. So the first one is, I had already planned on April being the month where I tackled my oldest books on my TBR. I had made a video earlier in, I think, December about, I think, 10 books that I had had on my TBR for the longest. I've tried to read 2 of them and DNF'd them. So now I'm a little concerned. So I have 8 left. Well, okay, I had 11 altogether. One of them is Wuthering Heights, and I'm not touching that this month to save my life. Like, that's just not happening. That might never happen. I might never read that book because I've attempted it 3 times. 4th time, I have an audiobook. I'm going to try it, but I don't think it'll be this month. So just ignore that one. But everything else is from that list, which is 8 that I have. No, is that right? Yeah, 8 that are left. I want to do a try chapter on them and decide if these are classics or books that I really want to hold on to. And some of them are classics, some of them are not. But I have not picked them up since I got them or ever, you know. So, and they're over 20 years. Most of them are over 20 years old. There's a few that are not quite there yet, but it's getting close. They're like 15 years. So I'm just going to go through this really quick. But really another reason I'm picking them up is that Katie at Books and Things is doing a TBR clear out. So it's perfect. I was already planning to do this, but she has her own readathon going on for the whole month of reading books that have been on your TBR for too long, or ones that you think you should get to that you've been putting off. So I will have her video linked down below. So I'm technically doing that as well. It's just pretty much a push, but I'm going to do the try a chapter, probably do 2 of them. I'll probably do one with classics and then one with the other books that are in here. So let's just go through those real quick. So that's the first one I'm going to take part in. So I didn't get to Les Miserables by Victor Hugo for March of the Mammoths. I just could not pick up a big book this big and that I had not read before. So I have not tried that one yet. I have Henry James's Portrait of a Lady. This one I've had since 2003. This one I've had from probably 97. Anyway, so it's from college. So I haven't read Henry James. I haven't read in a long time. I did start this at one point, and I got like 50 pages in. So I know I tried it. I don't remember what happened. I also have The Instance of the Finger Post by Ian Pierce. I've heard a lot of good things about this, but it is a chunker, so it's mystery, I believe. I think historical. I don't know. I don't remember now. I have to have Blindness by Jose Saramago. And again, this is a book I bought when it came out in paperback when I was working at Walden Books back in the day, and I've never picked it up. I think that's some more sci-fi kind of thing, that everybody goes blind or something. I don't know. Man in the High Castle by Philip K. Dick. I've had this since college after I read Do Androids Sleep of Electric Sheep. Our teacher mentioned this book and I was like, oh, his alternate history. I want to read that. It's still on my shelf. As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner. I've never read any of his novels, and this is the first one I'd bought in college. I do have several others on my shelf, but I've picked the one that was the oldest that I had bought, and the one that a lot of people have talked about. So I don't know. I've only read a few short stories, so we'll see. Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. This is one of the bigger novels of his. For some reason, I have not read. I read the first 20 or 40 pages when I got it, the day I got this when I was visiting Australia, and I love this cover. Anyway, but I've never picked it up again, and I don't know why it's putting off. And the size, usually the big ones are the ones I like of his. So I'm gonna try this one, and all I know is about it's a boy and a cat. I don't know what's going on. I don't remember because I've not read it. And the last one is From a Buick 8 by Stephen King. I've had this book since I visited England and Ireland back in 2002. So I think it was 2. Oh, anyway, I bought this because, you know, at the time it was in hardback here. Yeah, 2002. So I bought the paperback, and I've never read it, and I don't know why. I think it has to do with a Buick. I don't know. Anyway, so those are the ones I'm going to do probably a chapter on. As I said, the classics will probably have its own. And then I will do kind of the sci-fi-ish horror one, Murakami, buy it on another one. So I'll probably do 2. I'll probably do it a couple of the weekends, and just try. I just want to try them and decide if I want to keep them on my TBR. So TBR clear out, Canadian Books and Things is much more picking up books and finishing them. I just want to start them and do that. Now, I am not touching Wuthering Heights. That's a whole nother deal. We won't go there. You saw that list. Then there's also Aussie April that is happening, which is put on by Doris All D Books and Jaclyn at 6 Minutes for Me. And I do have like 4 or 5 books from Australia that I could pick up. The one that I'm thinking I'm going to pick up is Resurrection Bay by Emma Viscas. I don't know how you say that. Anyway, I think it's the first book in a mystery series where I think the main character is Death. And the guy goes back to his hometown when one of his childhood friends is killed. And his ex-wife is the main character's ex-wife is somehow in danger. And so, I don't know. I heard really good about things. I think I saw this on Jaclyn's channel. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. And it's not very long. It's under 300 pages, so it shouldn't be too bad. But I'm hoping I can read that. And then the last and again, I said I have several other Australian books that if I get to, I will. But I'm just going to count on one right now. And then I just saw yesterday, I saw Erin with the Classics. As I'll have all the channels listed down below with their announcement videos. Anyway, she's doing 18th century reading, or 18th century in April, I think is how it goes. I'm not sure. Sorry, I've forgotten. Anyway, but she's reading 18th century literature or anything written in the 18th century. So it's a century that I have been looking at recently to read more books from. I've collected a few, and I also have on my wish list a few more. But so she's doing it in April. I wasn't ready for this, and so just at the last minute, I'm going to put up 3 that I think I might get to because they're all small. But I'm probably not going to get to all these. I'm probably just going to pick one of them, maybe 2 of them. I don't know. So a couple of the ones that I got is A Sicilian Romance by Anne Radcliffe. Again, she is one of the Gothic writers from that time. This was published in 1790. So I read the Italian, and I want to read The Mysteries of Udolpho, but that's too big right now. So, but this is a pretty short one. So I don't know anything about it, but that's one of them. Then like the first original, the first Gothic novel, The Castle of Otranto by Horace Walpole. And I do want to read this because it's supposed to be like the first one. And this is only like 100 pages, like just over 100 pages. So it should be a pretty quick read. I hear it's really crazy, and as in it's just bad in the way it really actually goes, but it's funny too. Because, I don't know. But it's the first Gothic, and I do want to read that because I am interested in that, how that started and how it carries through. And again, it's 1764. And then the last one that I might pick up is The Monk by Matthew Lewis. I hear this is just bonkers. Like there's no way to. It's about, I think, a monk who I just hear crazy things. It's like all over the place. It was published in 1796, so it's really at the end of the 18th century. But I still thought it just sounded really weird. I don't know if I'll get to this. It seems crazy. And this one is, this is more like 350. So it's a little longer, but I might get to that too. But I really have been wanting to pick up more of this century to pick out stuff. I really want to read Pamela by Samuel Richardson. I read Clarissa back when I was in college, but I found out that mine was an abridged edition, and now I'm like, I kind of want to go buy the really big Clarissa and read the whole thing again. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, but I want to read Pamela first because it was his earlier novel that I never got to. So anyway, those are all the books I think I'm going to, not that I'm all going to read. So again, the first 8 were books I'm going to do a try a chapter on because they're the oldest books on my TBR, and then I will decide if I'm going to try to plan to read those within the next month. But that's part of the TBR clear out. I'm going to read at least, hopefully, one April, Aussie reading Australian literature. Did I not say that? Probably not. It's Australian literature, and I want to read at least one book. And again, I have like 3 or 4 others that I could totally pick up if I'm in the mood, that are all different historical fiction as well as classics and other things. So hopefully, and other contemporary. So we'll see. I might pick up more than that. And then I definitely want to try some of the 18th century. I have a few other books that are on my shelves that I want to get to as well, but I'm not going to put them in my TBR. I'm just going to put these ones on it and see what happens. So that's it. That's all the books. Too many, because I'm not going to read them all. But at least I want to make some decisions on the oldest books on my TBR. And then I want to try to read some of the other books. And I have all these library books too that I have had since the library closed, and I really want to get to those too. The biggest one is The Mirror and the Light, so I would like to say I was going to get that too. Sorry I didn't bring it in here to show it, but hopefully I can get myself to read that too. But right now it's kind of hard to say what my brain will let me do. So anyway, what are you guys reading in April? Are you taking part in any of these readathons? Let me know. Or if you have read any of these books, let me know if I should. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.